Welcome back to Book Talks Podcast. This is Kayla.
And Marisa.
And this week we read The Love Haters from Katherine Center. I think this is my favorite one from her.
Really?
Yeah, I really liked it.
So I really liked it, but I'm not sure it's my favorite by her, but I gave it 5 stars. What's the other one I read? There was another one I read, the rom-commers. I think I still really like that one the most, but that was my first Katherine Center book, so it's like holds a special place in my heart, whatever.
No, I love this one. The last 20% I had to finish. I was unwell.
Yeah. Well, the book, by the way, is also just absolutely beautiful with the sprayed edges. And I don't know, but if you open it up the inside, that's pretty as well. So really great book.
Thank you, St. Martin Press, for sending us a copy. We were ecstatic that you answered our email and sent them, especially sprayed edges edition. Yeah, gorgeous.
Did we make it? We've made it, right? That means we've made it.
I hope this is it. I was trying to buy all my Katherine Center books, but I've been on also this one's sprayed edges too. I've just been churning through her books lately, actually, all in audiobook while I'm running. So I think I have does it have a list of all her books on the front page? Or do they usually have a list? Is it the first page?
There's an also by.
So I've read the rom-commers. I've read Hello Stranger. I read The Bodyguard. What You Wish For. Things You Save in a Fire. How to Walk Away. Happiness for Beginners. I haven't read The Lost Husband, Get Lucky, Everyone is Beautiful, and The Bright Side of Disaster. So the last 4 I haven't read. But I've read everything else up until this point.
I'm surprised you've read her earlier works, like Things You Save in a Fire.
It was actually a Book of the Month book.
I wonder when. I must have missed that. Or maybe I wasn't thinking, ooh, rom-com, whatever. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. But normally I get thrillers from Book of the Month, so maybe I just skipped it.
So those are actually my first ones. I read How to Walk Away and Things You Save in a Fire. I got them from Book of the Month, and I was trying to read all of my physical books. And I was like, let me just listen to an audio on my run. And it was so good. Then I just read all of them. And those are ones that still stick with me. I couldn't tell you the main people's names, but I could tell you the plot of the story.
Yeah. Now, this one was really good. I really liked this one. I liked Katie. I liked Hutch. I loved Rue. I like your note. How do I be like Rue?
Yeah, so I guess before we get into it, this is a spoiler episode. We'll be discussing everything possible about this book. So if you have not read it, come back, go home, read it, and then circle back with us, because we don't know how to discuss a book without spoiling everything.
No, I mean, I don't know how you do that, other than we could read the synopsis, but they could do that, so...
But before we start, I'll read my notes that I took during this, because I knew we were going to take a minute before we recorded. And I wrote, how do I be Rue? Seriously, she's fabulous and basically has a monopoly of Key West.
Yep.
I wanted to die for her with the splinters in the ass. Seriously, I'd be killed on the spot. Just shoot me in the head.
So awkward.
The houseboat scene, I think everyone needs a dog like George Bailey to push you together. Whenever he refused to let her get up from the bed.
I love George Bailey. He's the main star of this book to me.
And I was like, Katherine Center loves naming dogs first and last names. She does this in I think every book. She or at least I just read What You Wished For, and there was also a dog with a first and last name. And then Cole's an ass. I don't like Cole. Yeah. And then I wrote page 220, but I don't remember what 220 is.
Oh, that's exciting. That's a fun little surprise.
I don't remember the significance of it. Oh, yes. No, I know.
Maybe the quote at the bottom of the page.
You're not forgettable. You're not forgettable. You're unforgettable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was why. So those are my thoughts.
Those are good thoughts. I didn't write down thoughts, but I did mark certain things in the book. And I also texted you at one point and was like, I'm crying.
I need to know, did you cry at the end?
Yes, I cried at the end. But I'm not going to lie. So you thought I'd cry harder at the end. I still think I cried harder at that one quote where she was like to the female pilot, you're the only one who knows that number, meaning her weight. And the female pilot was just like, oh, really? I've already forgotten it. because it's like so inconsequential. And to the main character, Katie, it was such a big deal. She was agonizing about sharing that number. She couldn't even look at that number herself. And the pilot was like, I've already forgotten it. So when she said that, I just started bawling. I was like, oh my gosh, like that is so profound. So profound. But yeah, I cried at the end.
No, whenever she went back for the dog, and then she was like on the sinking boat with the freaking dog, and she like didn't think he was gonna rescue her and just leave her in the water.
So well, first of all, crazy that Hutch was like, I'm gonna save my dog and you're just probably gonna stay here in a raft. I was like, that feels like drama just for the sake of drama, because Hutch, what the heck? Crazy. But I also thought it was really funny that she was like, oh no, the toad probably drowned. And I was like, no, he didn't. That dog, George Bailey, that he still got that toad in his dang mouth. Like, this is a Katherine Center book. You all survived. The toad is fine.
Okay, so let's get in the beginning. Let's start with Cole shipping her away. Hey, Cole sucks.
So, okay, when the book started, I actually did not know if Cole was the love interest or if it was going to be the brother. And so I was keeping an open mind, like, is there a vibe between her and Cole? And then obviously he wasn't the love interest. And then, by the end, I was like, okay, do I hate Cole? I don't, like, why did I ever think he might be the love interest?
I do think the only plot hole of the story is the fact that Cole sends her. Like, they are not friends. He only sends her because she cried once on his shoulder. And if I was at a work happy hour and one of my coworkers, who I barely know, cried on my shoulder, I'd be like, get me away from this girl. But he's like, no, let me send her for the most important job ever. I would save my friends first.
Yeah, I was actually very confused. So I thought maybe they were friends. And then obviously when he shows up at the end and he's like, we're engaged. And she's like, okay, I barely know this guy. I was like, okay, yeah, I don't understand why he chose her. Like why he kept being like, oh, I'm going to help save your career. It's like, you don't owe her anything. You don't even hardly know her. It's just kind of weird.
So I would say, only plot hole, I still gave it a 5 stars regardless of that part. But I was like, I don't get it. But we're here for it. And I get why she went and she faked knowing how to swim, because I would do the same if my job was on the line and be like, yeah, let me learn how to swim.
It's easy enough. I mean, just throwing them out in the middle of the ocean, no problem.
I don't know if I could have passed this test though, because when I'm underwater, I don't hold my breath well. I would freak out. Like, it's not the swimming aspect. It's the it felt like she was being flipped underwater in like a tub and she had to like find her way out.
Yeah, well, I can't open my eyes underwater, so if goggles aren't provided, I am dying. 100%. Like if my car goes off a bridge and water's filling up in the car and I have to get out and it goes over my eyes, dead. I can't see anything. I can't open my eyes. I will just drown and die. 100%. So if she did that without goggles, props to her, because step 1, I couldn't even open the eyes.
No. I think I could have opened the eyes. I don't know. Salt water is different. Like, doesn't it burn your eyes?
Yeah, well, actually, I was thinking about how your little cut in the ocean. I was like, how did you not feel that? That would burn like salt in a wound. But yes, salt in the eyes is also, I'm assuming, very painful.
So, for those who don't know, well, obviously only Marisa knows the whole story as of this point, so no one knows, but I was surfing yesterday, and I was just standing in like a pretty shallow area, and something just hit me. And I did a cut enough deep that I had to get stitches, but like I still surfed for an hour after that. I didn't realize it, which I still don't know what hit me. Like, if it was a fish, what fish is sharp enough to slice skin? Like, was it a stingray?
Well, that's what I was thinking when you said something like whacked you. I was like, okay, was it the stingray tail? Like, also, did you get stung and not even realize it? Like, was it a jellyfish sting? Like, it could have been anything.
I don't know. At first, I honestly thought it was a shark, and I like quickly hopped back on the board because there are sharks over here, and but I didn't think, that's why I didn't think it hit me. I just thought like I got hit by a fin, and like I was like, oh, I don't want to think about it because I don't know what that is. But like I didn't even look to go underwater to be like, what was that? Like I was like, get me away.
Meanwhile, you're bleeding for the next hour in the ocean, which could have attracted sharks, keep in mind.
That's what the instructor said. He's like, you've been attracting sharks this whole time. And I was like, I didn't know I was bleeding. It didn't really hurt that bad. I stubbed my toe like as well, and I was more concerned about my toe than my leg. But toe's fine. Got a couple stitches. But yeah, no, saltwater makes me nervous. Even though I'm surfing and I'm like close to shore, I still get nervous. So her being in the middle of the ocean at the end, I would have been having a panic attack for sure.
It actually kind of reminded me of Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, because to do the astronaut testing, they have to like be randomly dropped into the ocean and get out of their parachute and all that stuff. And I was like, okay, why does a filmmaker have to basically do an astronaut level test just to film the Coast Guard? This feels excessive. Like, if I'm a film crew person and I fall in the ocean with the Coast Guard people, they are saving my butt. Like, I'm not saving my own butt. Are you kidding me? I can doggy paddle, but like, I'm not going upside down in a helicopter. Coast Guard has to get me out 100%. So I feel like the test is kind of silly, but I mean, she had to do it. Fine, whatever. She passed. Although her swimsuit ripping was comical.
Yeah, no, top tier. I didn't realize how badass the Coast Guard actually is, to be honest. Maybe I'm just like oblivious. I'm sure I live near Coast Guard. I live on the coast. So I'm sure they're near here, but like I've never seen them. Like I didn't know they just jump out of planes and everything.
Well, if what she wrote was true, which I take everything I read as fact, then most people who try to get into the Coast Guard don't even make it. Like they only one in however many people make it. And Hutch was one of the few. And so, like, yeah, I'm thinking that's really stringent, the things you have to be able to do and pass. Like, it sounds more stringent than just joining the Army. Like, anyone can go join the Army. But Coast Guard seems really, badass.
Well, and if it's so hard to make, how do they have so many people on all the coasts?
I don't know. Honestly, like I've never thought about the Coast Guard, probably because I live in Arizona. So, we don't see too many of the Coast Guard here. But yeah, like I've just never thought about them. But I was thinking like how terrifying it would be when they were on the helicopter and they got a call that there was some guy alone on a boat and his boat had capsized in the middle of the freaking ocean. I'm like, I have never thought about what you do if your boat capsizes, but I guess now I know, don't call 911, you call the Coast Guard.
But like, how do you even call them? What's the number?
I don't know. I guess it's something water people know. I'm apparently not one of them.
I almost Googled what's the Coast Guard's phone number, but I honestly don't want to be flagged as like someone who needs them. I mean, you don't really have service in the middle of the ocean, I don't think. Like, I remember when I had a boat, it was like 15 years ago and I didn't have a cell phone, so I don't remember. But I remember we did have to have like the police boat people. There's police officers that like ride boats around, and our boat ran out of gas once. We had to have like them come and like tow us back, but like it wasn't like Coast Guard level rescue.
I'm assuming boats are equipped with radio, satellite. Like it's not like your cell phone probably that they're calling the Coast Guard on. I'm assuming it's a distress signal that they can send out via radio waves. But yeah, I mean, I have no idea. I think that's what's so interesting about being an author. Think of like all the research she had to do to get the details right. Like she's not a Coast Guard person. She may not even live near the ocean. To make this book work, she had to go do all this research, and we read it and just took it all as fact.
It is fact. So most of her books take place in Texas. Like I would say like pretty much all but this one. So I was curious if she lives in Texas, but it says her hometown is Houston, Texas. So
yeah. Katie was from Texas in this book.
Everyone's from Texas in her book. The only one is, I guess in the rom-commers, he was from Texas, the main guy.
Okay. Yeah.
Because remember he went, oh no, was she from Texas?
One of them, I'm pretty sure, was from Texas.
I think it was she, because I think whenever her parent was sick, he came to Texas. I
don't recall. It's been a while since I read it.
But yeah, so one of them was from Texas. And then this Bodyguard, which also is a very good one, they were in Texas. So She's a big Texas author, but maybe she's familiar with the Coast Guard. Maybe, well, they are. They have like coast areas.
I kind of always forget that Texas has coastal areas because, like, it's Texas. I think of Texas as Southwest desert, but Texas is huge. It takes up so much space that, yeah, part of it does actually border water. Don't ask me which water, but I'm pretty sure it borders something.
And I just live on an island.
You know, you're surrounded by it.
When I was surfing yesterday, actually, we saw like these really big helicopters. We looked up to see what type of helicopters they were, and there was just a guy like having his like feet like just hang out like watching the water, and I couldn't tell what it was. I'm sure maybe it was the Coast Guard, but he was just chilling, and I thought of Hutch, and I was like, yeah, Hutch would do that too.
Yeah.
My fictional character that lives in my head.
He's real enough. No, I literally can't imagine having to jump out of a helicopter over the ocean, because I don't know if you remember reading this, but she said, or someone said, I don't know who said, I'm referring to just the author, I guess, said something like, you might jump out of the helicopter thinking it's a 15-foot drop, but the waves can change at any given moment. And that 15-foot drop can become like a 40-foot fall because like the waves might have been up when you dropped and then they went down. And I'm like, excuse me, don't people die jumping out of like that height building? So that just feels like, it just feels so irresponsible. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy that the Coast Guard exists and is like, yeah, we're just gonna jump out of potentially a 40-foot tall height and hope we don't die.
And the thing is, you can never tell when the bottom is. I feel like I even get surprised when I'm just walking on the like in the shallow end. So I cannot imagine like it could just be like the shallow end, and it could just be ground. So
you could just jump on top of a shark. Can you imagine?
Yeah. So sharks are like my biggest fear, and I've grown up my whole life spending it in the ocean, and I still am scared of sharks.
They terrify me. And it's crazy because there actually aren't that many shark attacks. Like they say, I forget what it is, that you're more likely to die from this or that than a shark attack, whatever. But the number I see on the news is like one too many. Like, I feel like there's always a shark attack on the news, and every time I go to the ocean, I am genuinely scared. Genuinely, I will not go out past where I can touch.
Even then, I'm more scared of the little crabs at the bottom with like pinching your feet. I just don't like the idea of that.
No, the ocean actually terrifies me. Like, I'm a big conspiracy theorist. I believe everything I hear. You tell me that the earth is flat and I'll be like, I believe you. I 100% believe you. So the ocean is such a mystery, and I've seen so many videos about basically how terrifying it is, and we don't really know what's out there. Like, we can put a man on the moon, allegedly. I'm kidding. I believe it. I'm not crazy. But we can't figure out what's in the ocean.
We are the guests in the ocean. We are not the main species. Like, we are just visiting. I will surf again. Like, I'm not scared of surfing. Like, I think back to the girl who like got her arm eaten by the shark and made that movie about her. Like, I don't know how she got back on her board. Like, I wouldn't have gotten up after that. Like, this little kite, I'll be back in. But like, no, if I was bitten, I would never go in the ocean again.
So respect to the Coast Guard. Put respect on their name.
I don't know. I didn't mean to laugh at that. We really do respect them, but
immediately canceled. They're crazy. They don't think we landed on the moon, and they don't respect the Coast Guard. Clip it.
So they have movie night on the beach here
in
this town, and they showed Jaws as the last movie.
Why? Why would they do that in a beach town?
Seriously. Well, so I've never seen Jaws before. Have you seen Jaws?
It's been on TV, and like I've seen parts of it. I just know that everyone goes in the water and gets eaten by a shark.
It's very fake. Like, I thought it would make me nervous, but it's very clearly old movie. It doesn't actually make you fear the ocean, but we did watch Jaws on the beach. But I gotta say, you think it'd be really fun, and it was, but it was so cool because it's at night on the beach, and the beach chairs are so uncomfortable for 2 hours.
I'm surprised. Like, they should bring your own chair or towel, or let you drive your car up or something. I don't know, like, just make it more comfy.
Well, you bring your own chair, but like I never really sat in my chair for like 2 straight hours, and I was like,
Fair.
my butt is falling asleep here.
Yeah,
And the
that's
movie's
fair.
so slow because it's so old, and I'm like, when is this gonna be over?
Yeah. That's cool though that they do that.
They do a lot of kids movies, but we missed most of them this year. But I was excited to catch Jaws. Okay, so the ex-boyfriend, Katie's ex-boyfriend.
Oh my gosh, crazy. First of all, dating a celebrity, I would be using that to my advantage nonstop to get jobs and all that stuff and be like, excuse me, do you know who wrote an award-winning song about me called Katie? Yeah, like I'm a big deal. I would so be using that. And she's just so quiet about it. But I mean, yeah, total jerk. Didn't he cheat on her?
He did cheat on her. He cared more about his fame, and then he like was a simp after her. After that, I wish we got to like meet him. Like I would have loved a grand scene of him just showing up because he like saw her on the Coast Guard news or something like that.
Ooh, yeah.
And then he like claims his girl. That would have been cool. But I thought it was a fun little twist in the story. So she kind of seemed like she had like really low self-esteem. And but then on the next breath, this guy's writing love songs about her for millions. So
I know. It's such a crazy mind twist when you have low self-esteem. Like you cannot see yourself the way other people see you. And it's like you have one of the biggest celebrities writing songs about you, about how he's still in love with you, about how his biggest mistake was letting you go, all this stuff. And you still think what you focus on is all the negative comments about how you're not pretty, you've let yourself go, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, but no one else's opinions matter. I would say technically no one's opinion about you matters, right? Technically. But we are going to care. And I think we should care about people who are close to us. Like if someone very close to you is like, hey, you're kind of turning into a jerk. Maybe you should shape up. Like that's something that maybe you should consider. So I'm like, her 5-year-long relationship guy is still so in love with her, thinks she's the best thing on the planet, but yet all she can see is the negative side. And so it is just crazy. Like that is low self-esteem.
I know, I felt really bad for her. I really liked her friends making her say the things she likes about herself.
Yeah.
No, I thought that was cute. And I feel like they're really good friends.
It was cute, but it was kind of stupid. Like, I would never be like, Kayla, I love this pinky. Like, look at my short, stubby pinky. It is so perfect. I just, like, Kayla, have you seen my ankles? It was cute. I liked it. I just wish we could have picked some actual, thing.
I was waiting for her to say her eyes after Hutch complimented her.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this ex-boyfriend was such a jerk, he didn't even know what color her eyes were.
To be fair, she didn't even know what color her eyes were. To be fair, she told everyone she had hazel eyes.
This is why I love having black, borderline brown eyes. There's never a hint of question.
What does your driver's license say? Does it say black borderline?
It just says brown. I don't think black's an option. But like my baby photos growing up, I don't even have like the little whites in my eyes. Like they're just like black. Like it was kind of like creepy a little bit. Like I have very dark eyes. So no,
I've never noticed that. But looking at you right now, I'm like, those are very black.
Yeah, no, they're dark. Actually, I don't know your color of your eyes.
My eyes are, I feel like I'm like Katie. They're hazel. If I wear green, they're green. If I wear other colors, they're brown. I tell people they're green because green is awesome. And like, I don't want to be like, yeah, I have just brown eyes. That's so, normal. I want to be like, oh, I have green eyes. But they're like hazel brown.
Like, yeah, if you died and someone asked me to identify you, now I know. But before this, I wouldn't have known.
I would hope you could identify me by more than my eyes. Like, if all you have to go on is, here are her eyeballs, is this your friend? I'm gonna be concerned. Well, what happened to me?
If they call me up and they're like, what color are her eyes? I'd be like, I don't know.
No idea.
I don't know why they would call me first and not your family. But if they did call me first.
But now you know. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, that eye thing was cool. I like that Hutch noticed it right away. What was it Hutch said? Did he say because he was like, I noticed it the first time we met. And she's like, oh, when you were getting splinters out of my butt. And he's like, no, when I saw you in the shop. or something like that. I was like,
Yeah.
I love when the guy falls first. It's so cute.
I love the older women little clique.
The Grove gals.
The Grove gals, just watching them fall in love, and they just probably like whisper to each other back and forth. I don't know how they could have been like convinced though that Cole and Katie were like engaged.
No, they had to know. They had to know that was a lie, right? Like they were literally watching her and Hutch be in love. So how could they just make that switch?
I did feel so bad for Hutch in that moment though, because he probably thought, oh, another one of Cole's girlfriends is after me. Like, but I don't know how he was either convinced by Cole either. It was like kind of silly, but I guess we needed it for the plot.
Maybe, although I feel like we could have brought her ex-boyfriend back instead, like you said. Like, instead of doing the whole Cole shows up and is like, oh, we're engaged. And then she's just like, what? I guess I'll go along with it, okay? The ex could have come back in. Because the thing about the ex was that he was simping for her. Like, he was in love with her. And, you know, I'm not like, oh, if someone cheats on you, you should go back to them. But if he genuinely, like, repented and was like, I made a mistake and I'm in therapy and all this stuff, like, that could have been a plot where it's like, okay, well, you know, maybe I can show everyone that I am beautiful and be with him and like restore my public image. But no, anyway, but they brought Cole back. Cole's like, we're engaged. I don't know how Hutch dealt with that. Yes, like technically he didn't have a thing with Cole's other ex-fiance. Technically she was just after him. But I mean, I would have like serious head mind effery going on. Like, what is it about me that attracts Cole's fiancés?
Yeah, I would
Crazy.
be mad if I was him. I would be pissed at her, which I think he was.
I think he was, yeah.
And Rue is too smart to think that she was engaged to Cole. Like, come on, this girl,
Zero chemistry.
she owns half of Key West. She's a businesswoman. She's brilliant. And she's going to believe that? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't buy it. Also, I feel like it was just such a slap in the face to Hutch that certainly the Grove gals would have been like on Hutch's side, not like hyping up her and Cole, but kind of like, oh, well, why were you flirting with Hutch so much then? That's kind of weird. So yeah, no, wasn't a fan of that. But I will say Cole kind of redeemed himself by the end. Not like I don't love who he is or whatever, but I understand the trauma that he has internalized his whole life, blaming himself for his mom's death, thinking, my brother saved me over my mom. It's my fault she's dead. And so I think it coming out at the end that Hutch says, like, no, you were her last wish. Like, she said, save Cole. I thought that was really sweet. I bet he's still going to carry guilt about it, but like, it at least explained why he was so weird with Hutch to a degree. But yeah, no, I mean, he didn't like redeem himself, but at least I don't hate him by the end. Kind of.
I didn't hate him at the end. I do think him and the boss deserve each other.
I don't get that at all. I'm like, what is going on?
She was a hot mess. But no, and that's why I think Katherine writes trauma so well.
Yeah.
She loves to have the main character like have this like, or a character have this like very past trauma and have them work through it. Even for Katie as well, like she's had a lot of damage. Her mom passed, and then she kind of had an evil stepmom that kind of gave her body issues to begin with. I forget what is her dad alive?
I don't remember, but I think so.
But I forget if they're even close. He did not play a role, but like she's had issues in the past, and she had a lot of character development. This whole book was just like her falling in love with herself, along with falling in love with Hutch.
Which did you end up going back and reading the author's note at the end?
I didn't, but she wrote a similar one in Hello Stranger. Okay. So I read that one. I did not read this one, but do you want to summarize it?
Oh my gosh, it was it's like, how many pages? It's like 3.5 pages maybe of her talking about like why romance books matter, because there's a lot of discourse online. And I'm not gonna lie, like I probably was part of that discourse back before I started reading romance. Like romance just felt like fluffy novels, like there's not a lot going on. Oh, they're just smut. Like that's a big, thing. But once you start reading them, It's like there's more buried in romances than you think. And the way she ended it, it was so beautiful. She said, let me get there. Where is it? Here. She said, trust me and trust yourself. Love stories are the best kind of therapy. They aren't shallow, they're deep. Start looking and you'll see it too. Love stories make us better at love in all directions. And getting better at love, of course, means getting better at life, which I just thought was really beautiful because, this is a love story, obviously, in the traditional sense between Katie and Hutch, but it's also a love story between her and her body image and like fixing that. It's got the trauma with Cole and healing that relationship with his brother. It's got Rue and her diagnosis, which we haven't even talked about, but like, and the Grove Gals and friendship. Like there's more to it than just the actual romance between her and Hutch. And when you start looking at romances through that perspective, like what else is in there? What else are they solving and developing? You learn to like love yourself. Like literally, I mean, when that female pilot said, "Oh, I've already forgotten the number you gave me as far as your weight's concerned," that was like such this profound moment that I'm sure affected a lot of people like me who were like, wow, it doesn't matter. And this whole time, like you carry that with you thinking, oh, it matters, people are looking at me differently and, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, to some degree, sure, but also at the end of the day, learning to love yourself will make you a better person, which will allow you to live life better and more loving, which is what we should all, be trying to do. So I just thought it was a beautiful little note she wrote at the end.
Well, going to the weight, does your doctors now, no one weighs me anymore. They just ask me.
What?
And I'm
No.
like, I don't know. I don't own a scale. I guess every time. Every time I give someone else a different number. I'm like, I don't know. It's a good game.
No. Maybe that's like we respect you and it could be, triggering to get on a scale. So we'll just ask you. But no, I'd be lying about that for sure.
I just truly don't know. I was like, isn't that your job to measure me?
Like, sorry, do you not have a scale around here? Where am I?
But going part to Katie's development, I love when she started getting color back into her life, and she was like all dark and like wearing only black and very slimming colors, and then Rue gave her like these crazy like vacation outfits, and she started to like begrudgingly wear them, and then she started loving them. And the pillows, she brought her pillows out of the closet, so
yeah,
that was really, I love that part of her.
That was cute. I liked it too.
But yeah, and also Cole bring up Rue's diagnosis as like a reason they have to fake it is such bull.
He's such a manipulative little liar. And I'm sorry, but like your mom and dad dying when you were young does not justify you becoming a manipulative little liar. Like Hutch turned out to be a good guy. So what happened to you?
He definitely has a complex of his older brother being better than him his whole life because yeah, he is very much like poor me. I mean, I think he's a lot of guilt, but he definitely is like the victim. He plays the victim on everything.
Well, also, I just remembered this. Him offering Katie up as a prize to anyone who could beat him. I was like, okay, like Hutch just needs to knock you on your butt because you are making every woman in America mad right now.
I forgot about that too. I don't know why my brain blocked that out, but yeah, no, that made me mad. I wanted Hutch to make a bigger fit about it though. And he didn't. Nothing could rattle Hutch. Like, even everything that happened, he was just like, cool, calm, collected. Which, I mean, part of me wanted him to be like all caveman-y and be like, this is my woman. What, you're a liar. But it's just not who Hutch is, so we'll have to live.
Yeah, we'll have to deal with it. It's probably why he's so good at his stupid job that we respect.
Remember we talked about with Ren and her special army and how she would never actually be in the special army in real life. Hutch fits the criteria of this job description. That was fantasy, this is romance, and it's supposed to be realistic, but it is very realistic.
Yeah. Yeah, no. She wrote Coast Guard very well, as far as I know anyway. I know nothing about the Coast Guard except what I learned in this book. So, based on that, she did it very well and wrote him very well. I liked Hutch. But yeah, he could have been a little more mad at Cole about some things.
He should have. I was like mad that he wasn't. I'm like, get angry. Your brother's a little brat.
Yeah. Also, yeah, like Rue's diagnosis, not telling Hutch, but telling Cole, and then Cole using that. I'm just like, he's just Yeah, he's not a great person. So he really does belong with that boss.
I am very glad she didn't go back to Texas. Like, I wanted her to stay in Key West. That was her place.
Yeah. No, I mean, the ending was good. She gets to wear all her colors. I did think it was a crazy career change to just give up filmmaking as a career and instead manage the Key West hotel rentals or whatever they were, house rentals. But I do think it allows her to be happier and focus on her hobby of filmmaking. And so, all in all, like, I'm happy with her happily ever after. I'm just worried about Rue a little bit.
Yes, worry about Rue. With her giving up her job, I don't think she had the hustle to do like filmmaking as her full-time job. Not that she wasn't good enough for it, but like, again, like you said, if I had a famous ex, I would have been using it to hustle in my career.
Yeah.
She was very timid and was like waiting for the work to come to her.
Besides
this whole thing, I guess this was her going to her work and lying about being swimming. But prior to that, she didn't really go for it. So I kind of feel like this is a good move for her. Honestly, if some man, I mean, I have a boyfriend, but like if Tom told me to move to Key West and take care of his aunt's properties, I think I'd do it. I think I'd just give my job, be like, you know what? This sounds great. Free housing? Sign me up.
Yeah. No, I'm very anti-move somewhere for a person, but in this case, I think Key West fit Katie very well. And I think her and Hutch are going to make it. I think George Bailey, needs two parents. And I think Katie's the perfect mom for George Bailey.
Yeah, so would you move for George Bailey to Key West?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Like, not a question in my mind. Maybe not Hutch, but definitely George Bailey.
So I guess at this point in your life, if you met somebody and they were in a different state, you wouldn't move?
Not at first. Not after 3 weeks of knowing them.
It'd be longer than 3 weeks, right?
I don't know. I mean, maybe it was longer than 3 weeks, but I mean, it wasn't like a full year or anything. They didn't know each other that long. But yeah, I mean, the other thing though is he's only there for like 3 more years. So I don't know how they're going to work that out because his Coast Guard job may take him to other cities.
Can he just request to stay though?
Be like, hey, my whole family's here and I really like the beach. Can I just, can I stay? Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know how that works. It might just be assigned and it's like, sorry, nope, you're going to Poland.
Can he just drop out and switch careers? If she's switching careers for him, maybe he could become a property manager too.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he'd be great at a lot of different things. With his temperament, he could do anything. I mean, he could get any job as long as a female was interviewing him. So he'll be fine.
I also love that they brought in like Jennifer Aniston's dog into it.
I literally, by the end of the book, when they were like, he had reached out to Jennifer Aniston to see if she would share the video that Katie made, I was like, did this really happen? Like, does Jennifer Aniston know that she, and I was like, no, it's fiction. It didn't really happen. Jennifer Aniston's probably never even heard of this book. But I thought that was hysterical.
Let me Google, did Jennifer Aniston's dog need rescuing? Oh, no, it just was like she rescued her dog. I got really excited for a minute and it was no.
You were like, wait, it's real.
It said, yes, Jennifer Aniston did rescue her first dog. And I was like, not that type of rescue.
No, we're looking for did Hutch rescue the dog? Thanks, Google.
You technically rescued your dog, right?
Yeah.
Because it was it like a pound dog?
He came from a notorious dog rescue in Alabama. He was born in the backyard of someone who said, if someone doesn't come get these puppies, I'm going to pew them all.
Oh my God.
And so Notorious Dog Rescue stepped in, got the litter of puppies. There were like 6 of them. I fostered 2 and I kept 1. I wanted to keep them both, but the other one has a good home now.
Huh? I knew you'd cry with the whole dog part. When she went back to rescue him from the boat, and then when she called 911 and he's like, just ride it out, I would be unwell.
So, okay, I totally foresaw her going back to get George Bailey. But when she was doing her little goodbye kiss with, what's his face, Hutch, the main character, he was like, George Bailey's fine, someone's gone to get him. And so I was like, what? Like, I thought for sure that was how they were gonna somehow find their way back to each other. Because, like, I don't know. I just felt like that's where the story was going. And then she gets in her car and she's going back to Texas. And I was like, that can't be just how this goes. Like, no. And then she gets the call from Rue. And I was like, there we go. My book senses are still there. I still have it. But no. Okay. So that part was a little unbelievable. If you read my Goodreads review, it's like, I was like, I gave it 5 stars, everyone. Don't come for me. I loved it. But being stuck in the middle of the ocean with a dog and just in the middle of a hurricane, a category 2 hurricane, and then being rescued by the guy you fell in love with, I was like, it feels like a little coincidental, but I'm here for it. But yeah, no, I was glad she went back for George Bailey.
The funniest thing would have been if it was somebody else who rescued her.
And she really was hallucinating. It was so funny when she was like, sir, I may be hallucinating. I think you're someone that you're probably not. And he's like, no, it's me. But it would have been funny if the guy was like, yeah, I think you are hallucinating. I don't know you.
I wish. I honestly wish.
Yeah. That would have been funny.
5-star book. I really loved it. It was a really good read. It made me feel really happy inside. So for our next read, I think, well, I already started it. It's If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia. It's going to get us, we're going to kick off October with it.
And then
we're going to dive into our thriller we received, which I'm blanking on the name of.
The Woman in Suite 11?
Yes.
Ruth Ware?
Yes. We're going to read that. And then we're going to go into a cowboy romance we got in the mail.
So random. Fall thriller cowboy romance.
Maybe we should be cowboys for Halloween.
Honestly, I'm down for it. This is actually going to be my first cowboy romance, but I'm worried it's going to like spark something in me that I didn't know I had.
I am excited because you're in Arizona, so you see cowboys, you have them everywhere. And
I have cowgirl boots.
I have a list. I have many a series that you could read. Actually, they're all on the shelf. I have all of Elsie Silver, like literally all of Elsie Silver here. And then I have Lila Sage, which aren't they really pretty? So
those are very pretty.
The first prints of each of her books make the shape of mountains.
Love that.
So this one too. The first, her other series doesn't, but this one just came out and I got it pre-ordered because
those are really pretty.
I needed the mountains.
What?
So yeah, I have a lot of cowboy romance books for you to read.
They should do that for more books. Those look so good on your shelf.
It's Bloom Publishing. They make really pretty covers. And then same for our like El Kennedy's and all her hockey romance books. So we can get the hockey romance next after we do our cowboys. They help spread edges for everything.
I feel like cowboy romance is going to be for me because there's just something about a cowboy that I can't put my fingers on. Like, they're respectful, they're chivalrous, they're like good guy. Okay, so actually I have done one cowboy romance, but I didn't ever actually read it. My friend dragged me to the theaters to see, I think it was like a Nicholas Sparks book that they turned into a movie, but I just remember he was a cowboy, she was like a city girl, she came, he rode bulls and stuff like that, and it was like very emotional. And yeah, so I'm a big I think I'm gonna like it. I think we're gonna open a door that you can't close. It's kind of like the wolf mating book. Wolf romances, what do we call those? The Allie Hazelwood one. I feel like that kind of opened something inside me that I was like, wait, do I like this? Which Mate is coming out October 7th, I think. I'm pretty sure it's October 7th. Very excited. I don't have it pre-ordered, but I think I'm probably just gonna like go pick it up at Barnes & Noble when it comes out. That is also my hope. That was actually my fall recs that I recorded was. I recommend Bride, and then Mate I haven't read yet, but I'm going to recommend it anyway. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be good. I haven't read anything by Allie Hazelwood that wasn't good, even in the wolf category. Okay, on that note, we'll say goodbye. Thanks for listening. This is Kayla. And Marisa. And make sure to hit subscribe and follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Book Talks Podcast. Good night.